Hey, what's up guys? I'm Scott from muscularstrength.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to reshape your core or your midsection. But before we get into that, I want to let you know that I am starting a live show, and the first one is going to be this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time Zone on a new social platform called Gravy.live. I will post my link down in that info section below, so you guys make sure you don't miss it. And when you click on that link, there's actually a button that you can press that will allow you to follow me on that platform and get notified when my show does go live, just in case you forget. Now, I've been wanting to do a live show for a while now, but YouTube and Facebook don't really offer the correct platform to really engage with you guys. I mean, I can read your comments, which is all fine and well, but I want to be able to really interact with you guys. And Gravy.live allows me to not only read your comments, but it also will allow me to bring you on stage with me as long as you have a webcam. So we can literally chat face to face, answer questions, all that good stuff. And on top of that, it has this really cool way for me to give away prizes, which makes it 100% random. And for my first show, I'm going to be giving away some big ticket items. One of them is going to be a home ab machine. For those of you guys who like to work out at home and you want something to take your ab training to the next level, you're definitely going to want this thing. And I'll also be giving away some bottles of the new Endo Rush and Rebuild Edge from BSN. So you're going to make sure that you don't miss it. And as far as what I'm going to talk about on my show, for the first one, it's going to be more of like a get to know each other kind of thing where we can talk about anything where it's fitness related, movies, TV, anime, general life, health tips, all of the above, because my show is going to be Oh the Hermanity, not Scott Herman Fitness. And Oh the Hermanity is basically my just way of saying we're talking about everything that has to do with the things that I'm interested in my lifestyle. And from talking to you guys a lot on the comment sections of YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, I can tell we have a lot in common, so we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure you don't miss it. And now to jump into today's topic, I'm going to be teaching you guys some simple tricks to help you tighten up your core. Now, just like any other part of your body, if you don't train those muscles on a consistent basis, they start to get a little soft. I'm sure many of you guys have had weeks where you weren't able to make it to the gym or able to target all your muscles properly, and let's say you had to skip your arm day, and then all of a sudden, you're flexing your bicep and you go to touch it and it feels kind of soft, and you just freak out, and then you get to the gym, you smash your arms as hard as you can, and then you're back to normal, right? It's like a sickness we all have, especially us dudes. But anyways, what happened is the muscles just started to get a bit relaxed because they haven't been training. Your body basically is always going to say to itself, if it's not using something, why does it have to keep focus on it? Or why does that muscle have to stay strong and hard and big? If you're not using those muscles, then they tend to kind of, I wouldn't say wither away, but they tend to get a little bit weaker because there's no force being called upon them to do otherwise. And the same goes for the core. And unfortunately, the majority of us make sure we go to the gym every single week and we hit legs, we hit arms, we hit chest, and we hit all the main muscle groups, but the core can sometimes be lagging. And aside from that, a lot of us sit down all day long, and from sitting down in our chairs, we just kind of let it all hang out, and we're bent over like this, and this area just starts to get really relaxed a lot. And then as you're walking around throughout the day, I doubt the majority of you are keeping it nice and tight. You're just letting it all hang out, maybe even pushing it out. I don't know what you're doing, but there's a problem happening there. And now I've made videos about this in the past where I talked about utilizing an exercise like the stomach vacuum in order to work the transverse abdominis to try to help pull everything in nice and tight. But doing stomach vacuums a few days a week for a lot of you isn't going to be enough. If you forgot what a stomach vacuum is, it's basically when you breathe all the air out of your system and you suck it in and you hold that for as long as you can, and you do that for sets and reps, okay? Now, what I want you guys to start doing is making mental checks throughout the day to pull in your core and keep it tight. And I guarantee you, if you start doing this every single day, you're going to start to see a change, not only your waist size, but the shape of your actual core as well. The abdominal muscles, all the muscles throughout here, your obliques, your serratus, that entire area is going to start to get tighter and tighter, and the muscles are going to look better and better because you're basically forcing them to by keeping them tense. And I'm not saying you have to walk around flexing your core so hard that it looks like you're about to poop your pants. Okay, that's not what we're trying to do. But for example, let's say you're sitting down at your desk and you're at work and you're typing on the computer. Instead of being kind of like this, sit up straight and then flex your core like this and just get a nice tenseness, some nice tenseness going on right here so you feel the muscles activating. And as you're walking around, whether it's outside, at the house, at the mall, wherever you're going, instead of walking around nice and loose, just get a nice tense core going on and feel those muscles activating so that the muscles themselves are getting worked throughout the day. I'm telling you, as you start to do this at first, it might feel kind of difficult because the muscles are weak. They're not used to being tense like this. But if you start doing it every single day, it's going to almost become second nature. And what I actually started to realize is when I was in high school, when I would say about my early teens, you know, I was like all of you guys when I was like 16, 17, 18. I was 130 pounds soaking wet, but I thought I was super huge. So I was always walking around, you know, my chest out and flexing my abs, whether I had a t-shirt on or off. But because I did that all the time, it kept my core trim and tight. It really does work. And another thing too, guys, if you're sitting in your car driving, instead of trying to be cool and drive like this and leaning back with your core all jumbled up, try sitting up straight, put two hands on the wheel like this, and this will put you in a prime position to flex your abs, and you can hold that while driving. And again, if you start doing that a lot, it will become second nature, and you'll do it all the time. So in terms of how long to do it for, sets and reps, there really is no sets and reps. You're basically going to hold it for as long as you can. Then when you start to get tired, you can relax, you can release, and then just once you feel like you can start doing it again, then do it again. It should feel more like something you do all day versus something you only do like when you first wake up or before you go to bed. And speaking of going to bed, another thing that I like to do is when I'm laying down, whether I'm watching TV or I'm playing Dokkan Battle on my phone, which is a Dragon Ball Z game, by the way, instead of just laying there and letting it all hang out, I'll just slightly tense my core while I'm watching TV or I'm doing my thing. And it just becomes second nature, and you do it all the time. It feels great, guys. And before I wrap this video up, I do want to say a couple things, that there are different ways to flex your core, and there's a specific way that I want you guys to be flexing yours. So regular core, so we'll say like stage 1, is basically just kind of hanging out like this. There's absolutely no tension in the core. Obviously, you can still see some abdominal outlines, but there's no tension in my core right now. Now, you can flex just the middle area, and you can walk around and keep that flexed as well. And what I mean is, this is kind of standing normal, and then this is flexing, you know, mainly the middle portion of my abs, not really focusing on the sides, just kind of flexing the rectus abdominis. And you can do this, but unfortunately, the only way you can really maximize this flex and hold it is if you're standing upright. As soon as you start to sit down, you'll quickly notice that this doesn't really work as well. You don't feel it as hard. So the way you guys are going to be flexing your abs the majority of the time is it's going to almost feel like you're flexing the entire area at once. So it transforms from this to that. And you guys instantly see the difference. I'll do it again from here to here. And when you flex it like this, you'll notice it starts to pull in all the sides. And now I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching this video and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to know the difference between flexing this way or flexing that way if I don't even know how to flex my core to begin with? Well, start off small and just try to flex this area to the point to where you feel tension in the side. And it's going to be a gradual thing where you start to develop this mind-muscle connection, which is the main reason why this works. A lot of you guys watching this video, you don't even have the mind-muscle connection yet in order to flex your core to even do what I'm talking about. But the only way you can get there is by practicing. So what I want you to do is whip out your phones and set an alarm to go off like every hour, all right? And just have it say flex core. And that'll remind you, give you a nice key note every hour to try to tense your core up. And I guarantee you, even after a week, you'll see a huge difference in not only how your core is starting to look, you'll see things starting to get tighter, but your mind-muscle connection will go from like 0 to 100. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to click that notification bell so you never miss a new video upload. And again, I'm going to start doing my live shows. First one's going to be this Saturday. And if you want to, we can even talk about this concept on the show, and I can explain it to you guys more, and then maybe even get you guys on the show with me with your webcams trying to get your core flexed. It'd actually probably be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. The show is going to give me a chance to really let my personality shine and hang out with you guys. I'm just super pumped. So again, link down in the info section below. Sign up to get notified for when my show goes live. And as always, guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.